Hello everyone. This is a lupus and the heat and the sun and gratitude video. So if you're not interested in any of that, you can move on to the next video. So it's 97 degrees right now outside in the Florida sun, and I of course was diagnosed with lupus 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago. And one of the things that happened was that I could no longer be outside in the sun. It's like as soon as I would go outside in the sun, all of my energy would be zapped. But that also was a time where I couldn't even, like walk on my own. So, progress. And I worked my way from not being able to go outside in the sun to being able to go outside in the sun 10 minutes at a time, 15 minutes at a time. And back then, I started walking at the job I was working in the shade. And then I would go walk in the sun part for like 5 minutes. And that's how I built it up to where I could go back in the sun again. Fast forward, I changed jobs, and then I was traveling with my jobs all over the country, different parts. And doing that traveling, I was not outside in the shade as much. But when I would come back home to Tallahassee, I would cut my grass, half an acre, and I would cut the front and the backyard. Now the back was pretty much covered in trees, the front not so much. And this helped me to build up my endurance in the sun. And of course, I would be completely exhausted, and I would have to go to sleep immediately when I finished. Now, fast forward, took another job to where I was gone, I was traveling, but I was not able to be outside in the sun because the job was second shift. So I was outside very minimally. I would go to the beach, be outside, but not for much time. Fast forward, took another job where I pretty much was indoors all day, right? Inside the hospital all day or inside the office all day, no outside. Now we're at 2026 and I can no longer be out in the sun for an hour, like just out in the sun, like walking out in the sun for an hour in this kind of weather. I could do it in the 70s and 80s, but the 90s is too much for me, right? So at my house, we have a half acre that still needs to be cut. And my sons both travel, so they're not always home. The yard still needs to be cut because we live by, the forest. We got snakes, we got all kinds of things. And I have had them in my yard. So my son got somebody to cut the yard, and I'm OCD. They didn't cut it the way I really wanted it cut. We have a riding lawnmower. I was like, hey, why don't you show me what I need to do for the riding lawnmower and I can cut it myself. And because there were some issues with our riding lawnmowers, it's not just like just go get on and turn it on kind of thing. And my son was like, no. And I was like, why? He said, because it's too hot for you to be out here cutting the yard, and I know you. You would cut the yard. If something happened to the lawnmower, you would try to fix it. You would try to figure out. And if I'm not here, or, his brother isn't there, there's nobody to, like, take care of me if I pass out while, that situation is, and trying to repair the lawnmower. So you guys saw the video. I got the shed yesterday, and my son is like, okay, you want me to move some stuff in the shed? I was like, no, because we got to get the flooring and the electric and all the other parts. I want to wait, but don't worry, I'll move some stuff in there. He's like, no, I can have some people come move some stuff for you. And I explained to him that I want to sit in the shed without the electricity, like I did today, for 5 minutes, because it is shade, but it is in the heat at the same time. And I did that, immediately started sweating, of course, immediately felt a little energy dip. But that's what I'm gonna do to try to build my my tolerance back up. Right now, when I'm going outside in the sun, I'm carrying the umbrella. as I'm told, I do not have on long sleeves, which I'm told I'm supposed to have on long sleeves, but don't have on long sleeves. But I want to say that all of this makes me grateful. I know part of my son's response is because when I literally kicked the bucket and came back from kicking the bucket, all those years ago, we lived far apart from each other. We lived, over 1,000 and some miles apart from each other. And yes, he did come to where I was, but he had to come to where I was. And so now he's traumatized by that, which makes him super protective. So he tries to set things up to where it's not as difficult, and if he's traveling, I'm going to be okay. He has people here who check on, who he's like, oh, I'll send so and so, I'll send so and so, and things. So I appreciate the fact that he is looking out for me. They both do, and they know I've been really independent. I mean, I've traveled a lot of places by myself. I've up and moved across the country by myself, and just a lot of things. Left the country by myself and traveled by myself, and have done things by myself. And I did that because I had to. But for people with autoimmune disorders, what many of us don't realize is that doing too much is part of the problem. Not letting people help us is part of the problem. Because sometimes you need rest, you need recovery, you need a lot of different things. And most of the people I know with autoimmune disorders, before their diagnosis, they were super strong and super independent. And it is extremely difficult for them to depend on others and to let others help them. And it has been extremely difficult for me to let others help me. It is so hard when I've done so much on my own. So shout out to my ex who did help me during that recovery, because if nothing else, I'll never take that away from him. He helped me in ways nobody has ever helped me before. So I want to say that we should live in gratitude for those who do wish to help us. We should also be more aware of the fact that we need to make it easier for people to help us. And we do need to take care of ourselves to the best of our abilities. Like, I just went walking out here in the sun, but I went to a place that's totally shaded, and I walked my little 10 minutes there, got back in the car. I'm going to get me some hydration and that kind of stuff. And I do that because I don't want my sons to worry about me. I don't want the big one to be out here worried that something's going to happen to me if one of them isn't around. So if I got to, do better for myself. And I want to encourage you to do better for yourself, because there are people who really care about you that you may not realize care about you, and what you do in your quest to be independent causes them anxiety, causes them to worry, and you don't really need to do that to people you love. All right. And being so close to them now, living in the same area, is causing me to be better about what I do, knowing that somebody else might have to deal with the consequences of if something happening to me. Okay. Long video, but if you stayed to the end, thanks for watching.